So in this video, I wanted to show you how I went from serving and making $5,000 to $6,000 a month to now making over $100,000 in 40 days. My name is Luis, I'm 28 years old, and I live in North Carolina. I'm sure everyone is wondering how I did it, how I made $100,000 in 40 days. But before we get into that, I really wanted to share my story. I wanted to split this video in 3 different sections. I wanted to share my story, where I come from, who I am, also how I made my money this past 40 days and how I was able to quit my job as a server. And the last part is gonna be about my future goals, what I wanna do with this channel, the videos I wanna make, and what I wanna share with everybody. So I'm gonna start from the very beginning. Like I said, I'm 28 years old. I was born in Mexico. I was from a small town called La Piedad, which is central Mexico. I moved to the US with my whole family when I was 14. Actually, I moved March 29, 2009. My birthday is on April 2nd, so 2 days later I turned 15. It was extremely hard because I knew very basic English. I mean, as you can tell, I have a very heavy accent still. But yeah, I got better. The first couple of years were extremely hard. I went, through middle school without talking to anyone. Literally for 2 years, I didn't talk to a single person. I was just trying to absorb as much as possible, trying to learn the culture, the language, and all of these things. I mean, it was a completely new country, new people, new food, new everything. But I still have my family, so I have a great family. They're very supportive. They work extremely hard to give my sister and I what we anything we wanted. We always had food. I don't have any crazy background. I've always had a really good lifestyle. When I was in Mexico, I was in a private school. It was a bilingual school, so that's how I was able to pick up the language a lot faster. During high school, I got my first job as a server. I was in the restaurant industry since I was 16, 17. At 17 years old, I was already mixing drinks behind the bar. The place I was working at, the owners didn't give a shit, so that's what I was doing. That's how I was making my money. I was making around $300 to $500 a week or so when I was 16, which is great money for a kid. I wasn't really good at school. I was great with people. I was great with communicating with my teachers, networking. I've always been really good with people, so that's how I had really good grades during high school. I was not a bad kid. I didn't get in trouble, but I was always the one trying to do something different. I didn't follow the path that every single one of my friends did. I wanted to make a ton of money, and since I was a kid, that's always been my goal. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something great. And I remember since I was a kid, my grandpa used to tell me all the time, you're gonna do something great. I see a great future in you. I'm sure every single grandparent tells that to their grandchildren. But I truly believe that. While I was in high school, my sophomore year of high school, I started watching YouTube videos on how to make money online. And like every single person out there, I got into the whole e-commerce part. Back in the day, I used to watch this guy, Tanner Fox, not the YouTuber, but he was into the e-commerce. He was into Amazon FBA. So I got really into that. And yeah, I decided to buy the course. I went through the whole course. I was able to launch my first product, which it was this baby blanket. It was horrible. But yeah, I learned a lot during that period. It took me about a year to, go from designing the product, the materials, talking to Chinese suppliers. I used to stay up till 3 or 4 in the morning talking to Chinese suppliers, and communication. I didn't speak English very well. They didn't speak English very well, so you can imagine. A few months later, I was able to launch my product on Amazon. It didn't do very well. I had no idea how to market the product. I knew how to build and how to communicate with suppliers, how to bring the product to the US and have it on the Amazon website, but I had no fucking idea how to advertise and how to market the product. So that product completely failed. I used every single dollar I had to, buy the 250 units and all that, and it was a complete failure. I ended up spending about $20,000 from, designing the product, getting samples and all that, to launching the product and using some for advertising. But yeah, it was a complete failure. I took the listing and I decided to go in a different route, which was drop shipping. I got into drop shipping while I was in high school. I started trying so many different businesses, but drop shipping was always my thing. I always wanted to make have a brand, have a product, and just market to people. I knew that was my way out. When I started getting into the whole social media marketing and launching a brand, launching a product, I was very passionate about it. I knew that was kind of like my way out. During my senior year of high school, I started like making a little bit of money with drop shipping, but it was extremely hard to keep it consistent. There was months where I was making $1,000 profit. Another month I wasn't making anything. I was losing money, advertising on Facebook and other social media platforms, but it was never consistent. So senior year of high school hit. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. So I told my parents I didn't want to go to college. College was not my thing. I hated school. I hated to be like trapped in a fucking classroom where my teachers didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. Well, majority of them. I had some great teachers, but majority of them didn't give a shit. And I didn't see myself like going to school, to be very honest. So I decided to just, quit school. I'm not going to school. I'm not going to college, and just focus on working and making money. So I went from serving at this like very small restaurant to getting to management. I managed a restaurant for about a year. It was fucking horrible. I was working from 8 a.m. till 9 p.m., 10 p.m. I was doing everything. I was doing scheduling. I was doing food orders, liquor orders. I was taking care of the employees. And a lot of times there was days that my dishwasher didn't show up. So I had to do the dishes as a manager. So that taught me a lot of things about management, about, just life in general. Like I said, I did it for a year. Then I transitioned into working as a server for a high-end steakhouse. And that's where I started making like decent money. I was making $300 to $500 a day, working from 5 p.m. till sometimes midnight. And yeah, that's what I did for a long period of time. I started when I was 22, and I literally about 14 days ago, I finally quit my serving job. So while I was working at this place, the steakhouse, I was trying to make something work with the whole social media advertisement and just building a brand. Like I said, that's always been like a passion of mine. I wanted to like build a product and something that people can use to like better their lifestyle, or I don't know, I wanted to have a product or a brand. During 2023, at the end of October, the place I was working at caught on fire and I lost my job. I didn't have a job. That was my main source of income. I didn't have anything. My drop shipping business was failing. But I had some savings in my bank account from serving and a little bit from drop shipping here and there. So I was able to like be okay for probably like 3 to 4 months till my money ran out. At the beginning of November, I decided to go all into like e-commerce and drop shipping and all that. I was able to launch a brand in November. It was an Apple CarPlay. I'm gonna show a picture on the screen. But yeah, that's what I did for the month of November. I took that store from like nothing to around $20,000. It was not very successful. I ended up making around $1,000 or $2,000 profit, which it was great. I was able to pay my rent and pay for food that month without using my savings. At the end of December, I was in a very like bad mental space, and like I said, everything was failing. I wasn't doing very well. I didn't have a job. I was using all the money from my savings to like pay my rent, buy food and all that. And yeah, I was extremely discouraged. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And at the end of December, like literally December 31st, I decided to just sit down, like think about what I wanted to do. And I came up with this thing, right? It bore with all my dreams and all the things I wanted to accomplish. One of them was to quit my job. I didn't want to go back to the restaurant business or restaurant industry at all. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to get into e-commerce. I wanted to like launch a brand and have like a successful business. So during the month of January, after Christmas and all that, I saw Sydney, Jimmy, Luca, and Cole like posting on Twitter about how they were making a ton of money with TikTok Shop affiliate. So I started doing some research. I reached out to Sydney. She helped me with a lot of stuff that I was curious, and I had a lot of questions. I had no idea what the whole TikTok Shop affiliate thing was. Because like I said, I was in the e-commerce space, I was drop shipping, I was on the other side, I was hiring creators to, you know, like advertise for my brands. But I never created a piece of content in my life. I was just not very good at it. And I hated to, you know, put my face out there. Like I said, I have a very heavy accent, I look different. And yeah, it was extremely uncomfortable for me, but I decided to like give TikTok Shop Affiliate a try. The first month during January, I started like researching and trying to learn more about the whole business model. And January 30th, I posted my first video, which it was crazy. The first day I posted my video, you know, I went to bed, didn't even look at my phone. The next morning I wake up and I had 6 sales, like fucking crazy. And I made money out of that. I made around, I believe it was like $30 to $40 that day. And it was all profit. I didn't have to ship a product. I didn't have to take care of customer service. I didn't have to do anything. All I had to do was create good content, which was mind-blowing to me, because drop shipping, you had to worry about suppliers, you had to worry about customer service, you had to worry about so many different things. And with this business model, there was nothing. All I had to do was make a video, and I decided to go all in. I knew that was it. I even wrote on my journal, like that's the way to go. I'm gonna post a picture of what I wrote on my journal. At the end of January, beginning of February, I started getting into the whole TikTok Shop affiliate. I got into the Collective, which, you know, it's a Discord or a community that Jimmy, Luca, and Cole like built. They teach you how to create content, how to do the whole thing. So I ended up getting into that, and 2 weeks later, I was making around $200 to $300 a day. And I was like, holy shit, you know, like this has like huge potential. I want to go all in into this shit. So mid-February, I started learning about the Collective, which is another community that Jimmy, Cole, Luca, and Sydney have. And they teach content creators how to like get better at it, how to like reach out to different brands. And they also connect to the networking that Creators Corner has is just fucking incredible. After I joined the Collective, I started learning more about the whole system and how to create a good video, how to talk to brands, and that's when everything fucking changed. I started creating really good videos. I went from making, you know, around $300 to $400 a day to making up to $13,000 in a single day. It's been my biggest day so far with this whole TikTok Shop affiliate. And yeah, so I started like hustling. I started like, you know, creating more videos, creating more accounts to like advertise or create content for different products, different brands. And right now I'm running 5 different accounts, and that's how I ended up making $100,000 in 40 days. So I went from January 30th to around the beginning of March, and that's how, you know, like 40 days, $100,000. Even making this video is extremely uncomfortable for me. First of all, because like I said, I'm not really good in front of the camera. I have an accent, and then I'm talking about money, which, you know, is very uncomfortable for me. But yeah, that's kind of like my background, my story, and how I got into this whole e-commerce space. And one of my goals with like this channel and, you know, just making videos and making content is to like, I don't know, like show you that all this shit is possible. You just have to like keep grinding, keep like working, and one day you're gonna get to the point where, you know, all that shit that you went through is gonna help you to like make the money you're making right now. Like all the failures I had with drop shipping, with Amazon FBA, with the e-commerce space, with like the restaurant led me to this, like to like today being able to make $100,000 in 40 days. And I'm making like around $5,000 to $10,000 every single day, which, like I said, I came from a place where I was working 5 to 6 days a week for a whole month to make $5,000 or $6,000. It was a lot of fucking work. I hated my job. I was always working for someone else's dream, which it killed me in the inside. You know, I wanted to do something for myself, for my family, and I knew like having a regular job was not a thing. If I wanted to make real money and change my life and my family's life and hopefully my future kids and wife, you know, I needed to do something different. I didn't want to do like what everyone was doing, you know. I don't want to have a normal life. I want to like be a millionaire, have a shit ton of money, you know, buy the car, have the girl, have my kids, being able to like take care of my family, not worry about money. That's always been my goal. Like family's always first for me. And you know, I'm Spanish, so it's in my blood. You know, we're very family oriented. And my future goals with this channel and everything is just, I want to build a brand in front of you guys. I want to like show you that, you know, a fucking server can go from like nothing, no money, to like having multi-million-dollar businesses. And I don't have it yet, but I'm extremely confident I will be able to reach $1 million in my bank account liquid this year. And yeah, I just wanted to show you how I'm building everything, how I went from nothing to like now something, and hopefully in the near future like a lot and money and everything. And honestly, I just want to be able to take care of my family. So yeah, that's kind of like my goal with this channel and the whole thing. And I want to be able to like help people and just give them some like motivation and show you that it is possible, you know, like I'm a proof of it. I'm like nothing special. I'm a fucking server. You know, I was serving 40 days ago. I was taking care of people. I was working in a restaurant business. And now, you know, I quit my job 2 weeks ago. I'm on my own. All I have is this. So if it's all on me, you know, if I don't make money today, it's all on me. If I'm not able to pay my rent, it's all on me. So like, yeah, there's a lot of pressure, but also it feels so good. Like, fuck, you guys have no idea how good this feels. Like even sitting here in front of the camera telling you all these shit feels great, because you know, now like all those years led me to this. And yeah, it feels good. Yeah, if you guys want to see, you know, how I build my future brand, which I'm already working on, and I reach out to different manufacturers, and I will be probably launching this brand in the next like 2 to 3 months. I'm using all the money I'm making from, you know, the TikTok Shop affiliate program into this brand. And now I have a great network thanks to Jimmy and the collective and Creators Corner that I can reach out to, you know, like get advice from. There's a lot of people that I'm talking to right now that I was following like a few weeks ago. You know, they were posting about their wins and how they were making all this money. Now I'm like friends with them. I'm like talking to them online, which is just like mind blowing, you know. And I feel like one thing leads you to another. Like the networking is just incredible. So I'm gonna take full advantage of this opportunity. I'm not gonna let it go. And yeah, I'm gonna build everything in front of you. I'm gonna be putting a video out every single week, just to like show you my lifestyle, what I'm going through, how I'm building the business. And yeah, subscribe to this channel, give me a like, comment something, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.